Chichester Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Needles, roll call, please.
Commissioner Leary,
Here.
Commissioner Vaca,
Here.
Jim Halligan,
Here.
Commissioner Whitaker,
Here.
Commissioner Rakowski,
Here.
Mike Sioko,
Here.
and myself, George Needles, present.
Thank you. We are at the public comment portion of our agenda. If you have any questions or comments for the Board of Commissioners, please make your way over to the podium. Give us your name, address, and phone number if we need to get back in touch with you.
Good evening, Derek Olson, 2504 Williams Avenue, for Chichester, PA. I'm here representing the Twin Oaks area. I have a two-part question. The first part of the question is the property at Meeting House, the Meeting House Tavern. Just a point of reference, the township owns the fencing around that property, is that correct? You rent the fence.
You rent the fencing.
So just hold that point for a minute. If I park my personal car up here at the police station on grass, it would be kind of expected that I get a ticket or some kind of reprimand for doing that. Is that correct? That normal?
Probably.
Probably.
Would be towed.
Okay. So constantly as the president of the Civic Association, I'm getting bombarded with questions as to why one of the candidates for commissioner has signs posted on township fencing and nothing's being done about it. So just want to get clarification as to what will be done, when it'll be done, so I can pass that information back to the community.
Mr. Needles, do you have any updates on that or the
And the
answer?
fence is private property. It's owned by a private entity. The fence is private property. It's being leased by the township and is placed on a property that has been deemed a hazard. So my suggestion would be that reach out to the code enforcement department. Let them know, and we can let them know through the reporting at this meeting that there's something on that fence, and they can call the owner, and then the owner of that fence could choose what they would like to do.
So with my car being parked on the lawn of the police station, nobody's reaching out to the owner. They're simply writing a ticket, summons. Just trying to understand that process as you explained it. Reach out to them. If you guys are leasing the fence, doesn't that make you responsible for the fence? Or if somebody decides, okay, I'm gonna take this fence away, I don't think you're gonna call the owner of the property and say, hey, they just took the fence that we leased away. I think you guys are gonna act on that.
I think I would defer to the solicitor, but I believe it's kind of a sticky situation because that all, like, it's being leased. And then we immediately, we invoice the property owner and then levy, we lien the property for the cost of the fence. So like, it's not necessarily like it's in part of a regulatory process. So I think I would defer to Jim.
Sorry, one sec. Well, I'm sorry, sir, your name again is? Yes, Mr. Olson, good evening. I understand your analogy. It's slightly different in the sense that the reference you're making as to a vehicle being on the actual township property. The issue here would be the lease agreement, and I don't have the lease agreement in front of me for the fence. My understanding is the property there was an issue at the property, so the fence is there to secure the property, correct? Okay, so we can look into the lease agreement with the owner of the fence and to make a determination. But the township doesn't own the fence outright. So I don't know how to specifically answer your question. I think there's a question underlying your question. Is there? Okay. Your indication is that there's a third party placing a political sign on that fence. Okay, and your position is that they need the approval of the owner or the township. Okay. I understand your question. For clarification though, as with the solicitor's office, our office, the solicitor's office for the township, we would need to see the lease to make a determination about the rights there with respect to the actual fence itself.
So let me just put a button on this and wrap up so we can move on. There are several signs throughout the township that are placed in places that have never been placed there before. Okay, so there are signs that are illegally placed throughout the township. We had it in the primary where Pico had to go and remove signs as well. But what I can say as someone who's run several elections with signs and without signs. Signs don't vote. Don't get stuck up on signs. I think that most people see them as gaudy, see them as pollution. And so don't get hung up on signs. It is private property. If we can have them removed, they will be. If not, don't get hung up on the signs. That would be my thought on it. And as the solicitor said, he'll look at the agreement, and if there is something in there that stipulates, something regarding materials or any type of things that can or cannot be displayed on the fence, then it will be addressed. But I wouldn't get hung up on it. Mhm. Any other public comment? Yep, go ahead.
My name's Eric Savoli, ERICCEVOLI, 710 Cotton Lane, Upper Chichester. One resident of Chi, father, a coach. Technically, I am inspector, running for judge of elections, and current 2025 Upper Chichester Township winning new champion. I thought I was going to get more laughs. Two quick questions. One, I just want to say, I hope everybody votes for 9 and 10 to try and get lights for the field for CBL, because we all know that that's what I'm passionate about. And that's why I'm here. That's why my wife sent me. She said I'm annoying about it and I should show up and help. And two, if after it gets through, if there's anything that any of us can do in the township to help move this, whether we got to make phone calls or knock on doors or write letters, go to Harrisburg, could you guys please let us know? And not only that, if there's other issues that you guys ever have that you guys need our help, since you helped us with this, don't be afraid to come to me and say, hey, we need help getting this issue to, whether it's for a library, a park, or anything. We can be just as annoying about any other object. And three, I live off a cherry tree at 322. And I'm just wondering, I don't know who would approve this or not. There's a no turn on red sign at Cherry Tree and 322. But there's also a turning arrow that comes the other way, where you could make a right-hand turn on red there where there's no traffic coming. And that's the way that I kind of have to go to get on. Could we look into why that construction's going on to maybe change that sign into making it turn on red when accessible, or having an arrow put in? I didn't know who would even do that, if that's even possible, but thank you. Go Phillies, go Flyers, go Eagles.
So, real quick,
All right, thank you.
Eric, one of those agenda items for the grants is with the state representative. So, calling the state representative and advocating on behalf of the residents of Upper Chichester is definitely strongly recommended. We try to we do a very good job here, not being reliant on federal funding or state funding for our general operations. However, it is a viable way that we've used for capital projects. So anytime one of these capital projects comes up that we're trying to go get grant money, the more people that are calling their congresswoman, their congressman, everybody, the representative, and advocating for Upper Chichester Township and saying, bring those monies to Upper Chichester Township, because you do pay state taxes and you do pay federal taxes. So if we can find a way to get as much of that money back into Upper Chichester, that's a very effective way to use your tax dollars that you're spending at the different levels of government. So one of these is with the state. So definitely, yeah. So I would call Representative Kazim. Yes, and I would call Senator John Keane, and I would advocate for this, and we can give you some information on that. And then with the intersection, that intersection is currently covered under a permit with PennDOT with their project. So typically we would have jurisdiction over the signs, so we could advocate and say, hey, we want to modify the permit. Right now, we can't modify the permit, but we'll notify them about this and see if there's something they can do. No, I think it's a good idea. So we can call them and tell them, hey, this is something's going on there. Is there some way you can do this now?
All right, thank you for your comments. Anyone else for public comment at this time?
Good evening, all commissioners. Lee Purdy, 3903 Market Street, Aston, PA 19014. I heard Mr. Allison speak about the political signs over on Meeting House Road, Meeting House Tavern. If you're the president of the civic association over there, wouldn't you be more concerned about tearing that building down and getting rid of that eyesore instead of a political sign on a fence? Rest my case.
Anyone else for public comment? All right, we'll move on to our agenda items. Can I have an approval of the minutes from September the 4th?
Hey, sir.
Excuse me. Lou. Lou. Right, like that's the result of somebody who's ran for commissioner several times and lost, so he's scared. Anyway, so can I have an approval of the minutes from September 4th, 2025 Board of Commissioners Caucus meeting
So moved.
and September 11th, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting, pending approvals? Thank you.
Second.
Motion and second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Mr. Vice President Rakowski.
Thank you, Madam President. Just have a happy thought here. The township's going to present a proclamation celebrating and wishing Upper Chichester Township resident Maxine Biankowski a happy and healthy 100th birthday. That's just an announcement. It's next Thursday at the seniors meeting. I will not be able to attend. I would have loved to attend. I attended another one and presented it. It was nice to do that. So if there's any commissioner here that might be able to make that luncheon next Thursday, I would appreciate it. Unless my plans fall through, I will be there, but I
What
don't
time
see
is
that.
it? Mr. Neary.
Let me check right now. What is it?
Next Thursday.
What time?
12 o'clock. So.
Commissioner Neary, he'll let us know. Thank you. Okay, Upper Chichester will host its annual table and treats that will take place here at Fury Road, starting at 6 p.m. We will have our special needs hour, and that's from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. So please come out with your families. We'll have treats, music, and just a bunch of fun. This is, again, I'm not sure what year this is, but we've been doing it for several years now. So this is one of our annual events. I'll turn it over to Vice President Rakowski for our Action items.
Thank you, Madam President. Consider a motion approving a bid from Herbert, Roland, and Grubik, Inc., HRG, in the amount of $74,550 for the planning of the Upper Chichester Township Trail Feasibility Study Project. So moved.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a resolution making application to the National Recreation and Park Association, NRPA, Youth Sports Access Grant Fund for the Chichester Baseball League Major Field Lighting. So moved. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a resolution making application to the Commonwealth Programs for the Chichester Baseball League Major Field Lighting. So moved. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion approving payment request number 6 from Ernell Company, Inc. in the amount of $85,698.40 for the Kingsman Park project. So moved. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving change order number 5 from Ernell Company, Inc. with a cost increase in the amount of $38,547.95 for the Kingsman Park project. So moved. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion?
Are we adding something to, this is for
Yeah.
change order?
Yeah, this is adding some, it's really, it's really adding some things to enhance the park. And make things a little easier for public works, who have made some of the suggestions. It's adding some gates and, at the pickleball court, like a double gate access gate for, public works to get in there. It's also adding some, it's upgrading some of the fencing next to the neighbor that is, next to the park, by where the rain garden and basin is going. So it's changing that into a vinyl type fence instead of a wood stockade fence.
So it's gonna put us over budget, but, okay.
Can I ask a question? What's the color increase? Premium color increase?
So the, so the pickleball court standard color scheme is, 50% whatever color you want, and 50% is black.
Okay.
That's like the standard that comes in and they dye the black and whatever color that you want. So it's an upgrade to have it not have a black combination. So we had the combination of black and blue, I think was the two combinations. And everyone agreed that it really didn't look that great. And this is supposed to be like, one of the focal points of the park. So it was putting it into, we have a two-tone gray and blue that looks a lot better. We got color samples of it.
Okay,
They're over at in the office if you want to see what.
okay, I don't know who agreed to it. I know I didn't agree to, it. I didn't hear about it, but I'm not in favor of the $19,600 just to improve the color.
Is that including, is that in with the 38,000?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of it.
That's part of it.
And that's for the, I'm sorry, oh yeah, and that's for the fencing?
No, that's the poured in place rubber safety surface that goes across all the playground equipment. So
Wasn't that that was a part of the original, right?
It says
Was that
pickleball
already-
court. It says pickleball court premium color increase lump sum $19,600.
Yeah, pickleball was already
so
done, that's not. should be
It's
pickleball.
my problem. It's actually for the pickleball court doesn't have a part issue. It's the poured in place safety surface for that. So I would, if you're consider that, amend that, this could be poured in place safety surface.
But just to change the color is a $19,000 increase?
Yeah, I believe the entire. They're very expensive line item. Begin with, I think that surfacing is look it up.
It's behind.
So this is like our current playgrounds where we do all the mulching. We buy a
Mhm.
bunch of mulch every year, right?
Right.
So we're investing in the playground area surface for this area. So instead of, doing 10,000 a year in mulch, we're putting down the surface, the color is 20,000. And how long is that gonna last?
This safety surface, it's a rubber, so it's gonna last.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I was going on the description and the,
Gotcha.
My apologies, but the safety surface itself is a $235,000 line item. So that, it does sound like it's a lot, but
We're still under
percentage wise.
budget, right? That's important.
Yeah, I think George, I guess that's the.
Yes, we are. We are.
As we work through this project, we're still under what we anticipated total construction.
So we had a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, lost my space. Consider a motion approving payment request number 4 from Blue Scope Construction in the amount of $139,183.71 for the Library and Resource Center renovation project. So moved.
second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a resolution authorizing the disbursement of the Upper Chichester Township Foreign Fire Insurance Premium Tax allotment to the Boothman Fire Company Relief Association in the amount of $121,413.06. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor? Motion carried. Turn it over to Commissioner Neary.
Thank you, Madam President. Consider a motion approving the memorandum of understanding between Upper Chichester Township and the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge number 27. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion authorizing the township solicitor to advertise an ordinance amending the Upper Chichester Township Code of Ordinances, Chapter 71, Pensions and Retirement, Article 1, Police Pension Plan. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving the distribution of the 2025 Commonwealth General Municipal Pension System State Aid allocation in the amount of $513,256.51. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion approving the employment agreements with Raymond Fuller, William Gavin, Caitlin Hill, Aisha Ginson, Gabrielle O'Connor, James Putnam, and Brian Warren, subject to their signatures. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor? Nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion appointing Caitlin Hill to the position of Director of Financial Administration, subject to bonding requirements. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor? Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion appointing Caitlin Hill as the Treasurer for Upper Chichester Township, subject to bonding requirements. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding discussion. All in favor? Any nays? Ayes have it.
Consider a motion appointing Marco Benelli to the position of Financial Administration Advisor. So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconding questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Let me
Consider,
take a break. Let me just take a break. Congratulations, Caitlin. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well deserved, well deserved. We're glad to welcome you into that new position. Right, so moving on, Mr. Neary.
consider a motion appointing Marco Benelli as the Deputy Treasurer for Upper Chichester Township, subject to bonding requirements. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving the October trash fee exoneration list. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving the list of bills, 1 million of excuse me, of $1,271,866.34. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
Announcement that the third 2026 budget meeting will take place on Monday, October 27th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the Commissioners' Meeting Room at 8500 Curie Road, Upper Chichester, PA 19014. And finally, consider a motion to authorize a real estate tax refund to Ahmed Mohammed in the amount of $148.31 for 2210 East Helms Manor. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baca.
Thank you, Madam President. Announcement that the Delaware County Household Hazardous Waste Collection Event will take place in the parking lot of the Upper Chichester Municipal Complex on Saturday, October 11th, 2025. Drop-off is by appointment only. More information can be obtained by calling the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority at 610-892-9620 or visiting their website at www.delcoswa.org. So it's announced.
What items can you drop off?
It's like old paints,
Oil.
oils.
Oh, it's on the list. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stuff like
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Yeah, but basically that, but hazardous stuff, basically.
All right. Thank you.
Announcement that the township offices in Fury Road Fieldhouse will be closed on Monday, October 13th, 2025 for Columbus Day. The Monday recycling route will be collected on Tuesday, along with the Tuesday route. Consider a motion approving the township engineer to process payment request number 2 in the amount of $10,552.50 to the Delaware County Office of Housing and Community Development for the CDBG 49-45A McKay Avenue Improvements Project. So moved. Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a motion approving change order number 1 in the amount of $30,253, increasing the contract amount to $197,311 for the CDBG project 48-45A Johnson Avenue Streetscape Improvements contingent upon approval from the Office of Housing and Community Development. So moved.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a resolution approving the escrow release request for project known as 3131 Meeting House grading in the amount of $169.50. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Consider a motion accepting the extension provided by the applicant to the Upper Chichester for the 4881 Chichester Avenue land development application. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion accepting the extension provided by the applicant to the Upper Chichester for the 0 Garfield Avenue land development application. So moved.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried.
Consider a motion accepting the extension provided by the applicant to Upper Chichester for 5116 Martin Lane subdivision application. So moved.
Second.
Motion, motion. The second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, now we'll move on to our commissioners and professional comments. Commissioner Vice President Rakowski.
Thank you, Madam President. The only file that's not on file would be the EMS. As soon as it gets it to me, I'll forward it over to everybody. The emergency management's on file. Also your fire marshal is on file. One comment I'd like to make to EMS, we had the study meeting the other day, and I think it went very well. We're on the right track to get this study done for the EMS service. Some of the numbers that he threw at us was a little surprising on what we're thinking on meaning services to other communities. It was a shock what other towns are paying in the Midwest, in the middle of Pennsylvania. So I hope it comes out with a lot of information. It gives us somewhat of a guideline to go to the county and let them know what's going on, and we get to study and be able to get some grants or whatever we can for the system.
More or less.
More or less, yes.
The other part of the state, you were saying that you were surprised by the numbers. Are their numbers
Higher.
higher than ours?
Yes,
Okay.
higher than ours. So that was shocking, but we're doing a service for the community, and they're good at it, and I think they'll see that, and it's going to take a while. George has the next one for the emergency management center that we would like to see about a feasible study on that. So, but other than that, I don't know all the info, but it's our first baby we delivered the EMS service the other night, and I just want to congratulate the medic and the EMT, but we're not quite sure if it's a boy or a girl, so I haven't got that information. But they did deliver their first baby. So that was good.
Good stuff. Any questions for Commissioner Rakowski? Okay, hearing none, moving on to Commissioner Neary.
Thank you again, Madam President. Both the financial reports and the police reports are available at the office for anybody's perusal, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Baca.
Thank you, Madam President. All the reports are on file. Just touch base on a couple of, keep you up to pace on things. The Force Main from Beach Street down to the Interceptor Marcus Hook, I would say they're probably more than halfway down, Mike. Yeah. They're almost at Ridge Road. And so far, no big snags, thank God. Stormwater Authority, we had another meeting tonight. I think we're getting all the bugs out. Everybody's calming down a little bit. I think it's still the right move. I think we're gonna do fine with that. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Okay. Mr. Halligan? have any-
Nothing to add other than what's in our report.
Okay, thank you. Mike Sioka?
Thank you, Madam President.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Thank you, Madam President. A few updates on we have a lot of projects going on in the township, so I just want to update you on a few of those since we didn't have our caucus meeting. The Bergdahl Park stream bank restoration project is ongoing. They're finishing up the embankment regrading this week into next week. And then they'll be putting the final plannings in with the recommended time frame in on November 1st, or on or about November 1st. So that'll be wrapping up over there. Some of that activity will probably stop for a couple of weeks and then start back up with the plannings on November 1st. Other item is Johnson Avenue, the CDBG project. We had the pre-construction meeting with the contractor, and he started out there. If you've been out that way, he started putting new curbs in already. We did have that change order in here tonight, which is basically requesting from OHCD for some additional grant money because our prices came in lower than what the initial grant amount was. So we figured let's get as much as we can. So that's explaining some of that, what that was about. McKay Avenue is completed, and that was one of the things in your agenda tonight. And we were just sending the final payment and release of retainage to the contractor from OHCD for that. Kingsman Park, we've had some meetings out there this week. Some minor adjustments just need to be made. It's practically complete minus pickleball court and the poured in place safety surface. So there's some minor adjustments for the safety surface. People came out and they had some minor adjustments to make sure they had the proper depths and everything. So the contractor's working on that. They hope to have that being installed late October / early November for final completion. But all the equipment is in there. You know, most of the grading, and everything is done, and the fencing work is just about complete. I think they were finishing up that this week. Another item is the Fury Road Bridge rehabilitation. That's another grant that we received from PennDOT, and we have the contracts here tonight for signature. So contractor reached out and wants to see if they can get together for a pre-construction meeting, possibly next week or the following week. So we're going to be coordinating that with the township after signature tonight. And last but not least, the road program. I had some discussions with Alan Myers, trying to get them out here to get that completed. They actually contacted me yesterday. They're looking to actually sub it out to AF Damon, who actually, to get the job done, who actually has done a lot of work in this town before, which I think we've been happy with. So I'm trying to get the schedule from them tomorrow to try and get that. We may have to request from PennDOT an extension past October 31st, which is a new date that the county put out there that we never really had before. So, but it sounds like a lot of people are getting that extension without an issue. So I'm working with George. I just sent him an email on some of that information, and I'll get that to him tomorrow. And other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions for the engineer?
Yeah, quick question. We accepted the bid from the other company and he's subbing it to Damon. Can we do? I understand that, but can we do that?
In the contract, it allows for, I believe in the contract, there is a provision where the contractor is supposed to do a certain percentage of work. I believe it's 75% of the work. Alan Myers would be providing all the materials for the project because they have their own quarry.
Right.
And there is a provision in there as well that allows for a contractor to not do up to that certain percentage if allowed by the township engineer.
Okay.
Like I said, we've done a lot of work with Damon in the past, and so
Right.
I thought that's,
Thought I saw him over on Gardendale, milling already, so hopefully that happened.
it wouldn't, yeah, it wouldn't, yeah, it's not part of ours.
But we haven't even started.
No, I've been trying to get these guys out there, and it sounds like they're so busy that this is what they're trying to do to get the job done.
I did receive a message from Putt saying that they'd be out to look at Tower Circle in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it
Correct.
sounds like they were saying first or second week in October. I sent him another reminder actually today. Not forget, what he had said was that he was actually the same contractor working out at 4880 across from the Panarello dentist office in the parking lot there. He said as he finished up there, he's going to jump over to Tower Circle. So he's pretty much done over at that parking lot. He poured a lot of the sidewalks and curbs and stuff the past 2 weeks. So I would expect to see him out there next week, but I'm going to, like I said, I put a message in with him and I'll start hounding him because now's the time to do it. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to our manager, Mr. Needles.
Good evening, Madam President. Just a couple of things. Last week, I attended the Pennsylvania Municipal League Conference with Commissioner Joe Leary and Commissioner Bill Whitaker. This will be the last Pennsylvania Municipal League and PSATC conference representing Upper Chichester. So it was very nice to be able to experience that with them. Contrary to popular belief, we did go to many of the sessions and attended the business meetings, as well as doing a little road trip across Pennsylvania to Pennsylvania. Upcoming next week, we have a stakeholder meeting for the PennDOT roundabouts at Chichester Avenue. I forwarded that meeting request to everybody. This is the stakeholder meeting for final design, and then they will be having a public meeting in the next couple of weeks. So that project is moving forward pretty rapidly at this point. This past week, we had a very productive meeting with the library board. We discussed the elements of the library and kind of get this project to the finish line here, as well as I met with the fire company leadership to discuss the updates to the Reliance Firehouse and progress being made there. So it doesn't like they've bumped that up slightly from the time initially given a couple weeks ago. I'd like to congratulate Caitlin Hill and thank her for all of her hard work over the past couple of years as she has kind of progressed through our finance department. Caitlin started with us here as an intern. It was a very short internship, but she thankfully came back to join our finance department since then, and she's been doing a fantastic job. Very sharp, very knowledgeable, and has picked up municipal finance very quickly. It's a great asset for the township, for the board, for the staff, and for the township, and she's a great member of the staff of having her here. So congratulations, Caitlin, well deserved. And then I know everybody wants to get out of here for the Eagles game, the Phillies game, and everything else that's going on tonight, but we've got a ton of checks and a ton of documents to sign. So if you have time, if you could stay tonight. If not, we can work something out for tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Number 33, the granting the extension, there was no paperwork in there. In the file, in the folders,
Garfield?
whatever 33, yes.
Yes, so that project, we have the extension. It did not make it to the file.
Okay. But I can get it. Okay. And then the Martin Lane, the engineer's review, has that been?
So Martin Lane, there was a review done of that and it was given to the applicant. There was quite a bit of things done on that need to be addressed.
Right.
So Matt at this point has said he needs to go back to the drawing board to kind of figure it out. So we're expecting another submission in the near future to kind of figure that project out, or
So I don't need to review.
we won't worry about it right now.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I'll finish up with my report. Couple things, for the solicitor specifically. So we have, I want to keep a couple things on the radar, as I am wrapping up my time here. I want to keep this on the radar. Michael's paving. I want to make sure that Mr. Friday keeps that on his list. Jushi, the medical marijuana location. I was looking through the plans last night and the renderings that we did receive and that this board voted on for conditional use has very different signage than what is showing. So I want to make sure that we keep moving that forward to have them fix that. I know this has come up in previous years, is a sign ordinance. I know that we have signage as a part of our zoning ordinance, but I'm speaking of a sign ordinance that's not a part of zoning. That's something that's enforceable by our township officials that we can implement. So that won't happen before I'm done, but that's something for you all to keep, on the list of maybe to do at some point. But depending on who's elected, they may not want to sign ordinance. They like trashing up our township with signs all over the place. It's unfortunate, but again, been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you that signs don't win elections. I have most folks don't want signs in their yard. They know who they're voting for. So it's just a matter of getting out, talking to people, and just being, 100% transparent, letting them know why you're running and what your plans are for the township, right? So that's it. Don't worry about the signs. Don't get hung up on signs. It's not important. All right. Any new business?
No, I just want to ask Jim a question about the signs. There isn't, we have an ordinance about putting signs on poles in the right of way, and probably not the fence and stuff like that, but we can't enforce that, or is there basically, we have the right to take them down?
Well, I'm sorry.
We have a lot of signs where people are doing their businesses now
Right.
and that's a pet peeve of mine.
Right. I would have to, I would have to specifically look at your ordinance on what it says they can do. One major consideration you always need to make with regards to sign ordinances, First Amendment, right, speech issues, but also there's other considerations actually to property rights. So where they're being placed and are they obstructions? So I need to look at your ordinance. I'll write that down now and I can look at it tomorrow morning and I can give you a brief on that, but is your specific concerns with signs being placed on like,
Telephone
graphic,
poles.
telephone poles or,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah,
even
so-
some of our traffic,
So then-
traffic lights,
Yes,
they,
so we had, again, we had this issue in the spring on the primary and it's PennDOT right away and then being on Pico poles. So Pico did address it and they had the signs removed. PennDOT essentially ghosted us. So I would like to see something that is a township enforced ordinance and not restricting them, because that would be a First Amendment
Right.
right issue, not restricting them, but allowing them within certain areas for a certain amount of time,
Correct.
right?
Yes, understood. So yeah, I can look at the ordinance and I can give, the ordinance you're referring to is a code issue, correct? Okay,
Yeah.
and I can talk to Bill and George about that, the enforcement of that provision.
All right, hearing no other business, can I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank